It is 11 o'clock. It is 11 o'clock and very welcome to Coffee at 11. Very good morning, anybody that's on camera and you've got a mug with you. I love Fiona's one. Show us that one more time, Fiona. Say hi.
Good morning. Hello, everyone.
We're going to go to Q&A in just a minute. There's a few people who've put their hand up already and said they'd love to ask all the questions. Looking forward to that. But before we do, Fiona, please, one tip that you would give to your nearest and dearest, because we're all your nearest and dearest now, to survive and thrive through COVID.
Through COVID. I think personally it's taking it day by day and not thinking too far ahead. I think we're all living in the moment a little bit more now because we have to, and I think that is, for me, you know, when we hear two weeks of lockdown or whatever, it's like, oh my gosh, 2 weeks, that's such a long way away. I think if we just take it day by day and hour by hour and do, you know, that has worked for me in the past about coping with things, and don't be trying to think too far ahead of, you know, oh my gosh, what are we going to do for the summer holidays, or what are we going to do in September? September will come a long way away. We're here today, we're here now, and I suppose it's what you can do today to make today good for you, not tomorrow. Just focus on today, not yesterday, just the present.
And a very good morning, folks. You're all very welcome to Coffee at 11. Sláinte there with your coffee cups and mugs. They abound. Lovely to have you all in the cafe. And this morning is a first for us because we're going to have coffee, a three-way coffee with Anthony Cronin, the founder and CEO of Flexiwage, and Colm Murphy, one of his trusted lieutenants. And it's the three of us going to huddle and have a conversation together, and the rest of you out there earwigging to beat the band. So looking forward to it immensely. One tip from each of you, one tip as to how perhaps you are staying mentally and physically, you know, prepared for what's going on at the moment, how you're coping through it. One tip, it can be a business tip, it can be a personal tip. What one thing would you recommend to somebody who asks, what can I do now to stay the course? Anthony.
Pass it over to Colm there first.
That's okay.
Yeah, I suppose, look, you gotta look after yourself first. So for me, you know, exercise is very, very important, and kind of maintaining that and kind of looking after that. And then the second part is my network, in terms of, you know, we're all sitting at home, we're all isolated, we're not going into an office at the moment, so they can often be a time of, you know, what's other people doing? Am I doing the right thing? Am I making the right decisions? Business owners are wondering, you know, how do I do it? Lots of people out there, lots of people willing to offer an opinion, you know, so reach into your network, extend out to people, talk to people, get advice. The likelihood is you aren't the first person who's inventing this wheel. It's been gone there before you. Somebody has had an experience somewhere along the line in getting through the challenges. So for that perspective, I would say, you know, look after yourself and expand your network and use it wisely.
Thank you very much, Colm. Anthony, have you one tip for the business owners in the room?
Yeah, like I'd say, it's they're keeping in touch as well, to be honest, because as I was saying to you guys at the start, you know, I just back from America, so I've been isolated in the UK for 14 days, and I'm going to come back to Ireland and be isolated for another 14 days. But what I've been trying to do is just keep in touch, whether it's by video, phone, because like everybody's in the same boat, as Colm said. Like, we've started doing daily calls there, and they're more of a laugh and stuff now. We try to make it a bit lighter, get taking the mickey out of each other for maybe not having shaven in a couple of days, things like that. So it's kind of keeping the light-hearted and the bit of fun going. So it's not all doom and gloom, and that'll be my advice. Just keep laughing if you can, and looking at the positive side, you know.
It sounds great. Colm, did you say that 14 days, Anthony, being isolated there and another 14 days here is great? Is that what you told me earlier?
Yeah, something like that, I'd say, yeah.
No, actually, they don't say 14 days here, Colm. I told him 28 days when he comes back here.
I love it, I love it, I love it. And a very good morning, folks. You are very welcome to Coffee at 11 with my very good friend Eoin Sheehan of Country Munch. Eoin, say hello. Cheers us with your mug.
How are you all? Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Eoin Sheehan, before we go to the floor for questions and answers, I'm sure there's loads of people dying to ask you some questions. Would you give us one tip as to what you would say to your nearest and dearest, because we're now all your nearest and dearest, what you would say to your nearest and dearest as to how to get through COVID in one piece, whatever that is for you, please?
The biggest thing for me has been routines. I'm a creature of routine, prior to all of this. So again, with all of the changes, trying to find a routine again has been super important, and it keeps, it makes it easier to get up when you have, okay, I need to do X, Y, and Z. So exercise is a huge part of that routine. I think it's more important than ever to be getting outside, obviously within the 2 kilometer radius, but getting some fresh air, getting some exercise, moving your body, clearing your mind, and scheduling that into somewhat of a routine on a daily basis. I was chatting to someone during the week, and their routine, they were essentially not working anymore. But I was saying it's still important to have routine. Your routine is get up, have breakfast, walk the dog. You might be clean the dishes, read a book. There's still some structure to the day. And that definitely, number one, it helps time pass faster. Because if you're just sitting down idle, time goes very, very slow and days become very long. And another one, and I have a tattoo on my arm. It's in Italian, but it's what consumes your mind will control your life. And I think that's as important now as ever, because this consumption of media, and unfortunately media nowadays is quite, it's dark and it causes anxiety. So what you're consuming can essentially control how you feel in your life. So be careful what you're consuming, and again, that all intertwines with being outdoors, watching your consumption, spending time with family, all that kind of stuff. So trying to be in the best positive mindset you can, and I think that will control your life in the best possible manner.
You are very welcome to Coffee at 11 this morning with my very special guest, Valerie O'Connor, a good friend of mine. Valerie, say hi and cheers.
Bring your cup over. Say cheers. Come on, Colm, bring your cup over to this side of the screen.
On that note, can you give us, you've clearly got a very blessed family, dare I say that openly. I think you have a very blessed family unit. You clearly, all three of you love each other, would die for each other. And it's just beautiful to see. And you've been through a really, really strange, warped view in that phrase that Val, how lucky are you? You've been through all this shit before, right? And but you are zen in this period of COVID. So what one tip can you give us all? And then I'd like to go to Q&A from the floor, if I may, Val. What one tip would you say to any of us to help us cope with COVID-19?
Focus on the things that are your business. And I don't mean your business as in the thing you do to make money. It's like you cannot control whether or not there are hospitals, whether or not we have facilities. You can't control what other people are doing if you see gangs of people walking around. So the what ifs are absolutely pointless and draining. And I know I am the mistress of what ifing. So we're always being, we're living in this parallel of we're supposed to live in the moment, but really nobody is. And now you have to live in the moment because that really is all there is. So, take care of what you have to take care of, which is putting food on the table. I don't think it's a time for us putting ourselves under pressure for self-improvement or bodybuilding. Just exhale and enjoy each other's company, really. That's the most important thing, is when you're having a meal with your family, look at them and say, wow, how lucky am I? And if you're having a meal with yourself and you're healthy, say, how lucky am I? Or the cat or the dog. And I guess, it's classic of appreciating what you have. We're living in relative luxury. We're not in pain. We're not being bombed. We're not hungry. So just try and keep some perspective. And everyone's in the same boat, so.
Good morning, everybody, and especially good morning, Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry.
Special guest, Patrycja Machowska Brambila. And look forward to hearing all about Patrycja in just a few moments. We're fondly known, by the way, as Patrycja. So we're going to go with Patrycja.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk to Patrycja in a few moments. Beautiful cup there. Please say hello and show us your cup.
Oh, it's really, really special. I had a set of 12 and I gave like one to each of my friends so we can enjoy really nice coffees together.
Very nice, very nice. That's fantastic. Okay, it's a real pleasure. Some comments have come in and Princess Shelley says, what a super fabulous, scrumptious person. Love that.
Oh, thank you.
Ian Hannon says, Patrycja, when your mum told you that everything you touched turns to gold, is that what happened to the cups?
Hilarious. Yeah, obviously. 12. I actually touched 12 cups. I have 12 of them.
All right. Patrycja, we're going to go to Q&A from the floor in a moment, if that's okay with you. But before we do, could you please give everybody one tip? What one tip would you give to your nearest and dearest to help your nearest and dearest, because we're now your nearest and dearest, help them cope through COVID-19? Then we go to Q&A from the floor.
Okay, so it's so hard for me to always choose one. It's my challenge, my life challenge. But I think we need to all remember, and I'm saying just from my experience, okay, I'm not a life coach, I'm not certified to say that, but what's working for me is we need to keep reminding each other every single day that thinking bigger and thinking positive is free. Okay? And what hurts us in life, in this situation, I absolutely understand people are losing their jobs. They need to fire and let go of the people. But what hurts us is the thoughts about the situation, not situation itself. Changes doesn't hurt. What we think about those changes and the meaning we give to those changes are the one which are like causing the pain in us. So if we could just take a deep breath and do what we can with what we have and where we are, I think that would be enough.